everybody. Welcome back to Twanger's Turntable and another episode of Debuts in My Collection. Today we're going to be doing episode 10, and it happens to be, you guessed it, Kiss Me, I'm Irish. Happy St. Paddy's Day. The best part of me is definitely Irish. But yeah, love you, Mom. So today we're doing episode 10, as I mentioned, Debuts in My Collection. And before I get started, that reminds me, shout out to all friends and family. Hope you're all doing well, enjoying yourselves, and staying healthy. And what else was there? Yeah, and to all those in the vinyl community, music community. No vinyl really today. It's actually just with compact disc. Oh no, there actually is one vinyl. A surprise at the end. And all those viewing on YouTube, whether you're returning or just joining, thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you like what you see, give a thumbs up. Subscribe, hit a notification, and you'll be notified when I do post another video, which I can't believe I've done this many videos. It's incredible and could have never imagined. As I may have mentioned a time or two, it's certainly doesn't come natural. It's outside of my comfort zone, but I do enjoy doing it, funny enough. So it's just the music, and it's just about sharing music and the love of that, and the little bit of knowledge that I may have. It's minimal, but yeah, and this is just about the debuts in my collection. That may sound like a broken record, pun intended, to those who have tuned in previously, but just either format of cassette, compact disc, or vinyl, whatever I may have in my collection. Some of it I can take it or leave it, but over the years I've collected them, and I tend not to sell any once I do have them, but there have been occasions where I have purged a little bit and gone through some and got rid of some that I wasn't, for whatever reason, moving, it doesn't matter. Don't have them anymore, so. And it being, close to St. Paddy's Day, I would have liked to have presented an Irish band like, Thin Lizzy or the Boomtown Rats or something. Not a huge U2 fan, but obviously shout out to all those, great Irish bands, whether it be rock or I guess the Corrs are probably Irish. I don't know. There are a lot of them. Of course, the Irish Rovers. Without further ado, let's get going. And I'll start off today with some stuff that maybe is a little outside of what I would, like I say, I can either take them or leave them. Some of them do have some fond memories or some fondness associated with them, like I've often said, either associated with people, places, or things, memories that are, I guess, invoked when you're listening to some of this stuff. So. Start off with a band out of the UK, a female vocalist. This is their debut from 2009. Incredible vocalist, actually. Lead vocalist is called Florence Welch, and she also plays percussion, drums from time to time. This is the debut. This is actually the 2010, but it was released in 2009. I have the 2010 deluxe edition here, a dual disc. There's two discs. It's the regular release there from 2009, and then the extra disc from 2010, which features some remix tracks and some live performances or whatnot. But yeah, a huge, massive album for these guys. I think 6 times platinum in the UK, a couple of times platinum in the US, and strangely, when I was reading this, I was surprised by this. It's like, WTF, but only it went gold in Canada, 40,000 copies. So I don't know how accurate that is or how recent it is, but I just found that quite surprising because it seems to be such a huge album. And for those who are not familiar with them, I will post, as I usually do, a playlist of these artists in a link below, so you can sample them if you've not heard them. But lots of good tunes on this. I mean, it may not necessarily be up everyone's, like everybody's cup of tea, but for what it is, I don't know. I just appreciate great artists, musicians, and many genres that I may not normally consider don't even know if I can say that honestly anymore because I listen to so many different genres. And kind of sticks with me that I was such a, stuck into one genre for so long. But I don't even know if that's true because I would listen to a lot of different stuff. So I had quite a diverse um, background in music with brothers and sisters and friends and uncles and whatever, right? You hear all kinds of different tunes. Yeah, this is, I'm not going to say a whole lot about many of these because frankly with the stuff I'm presenting here, I probably don't know a whole lot about them. They're just releases I picked up and they are debuts by these particular artists. So that's from 2009, Florence and the Machine. This one is called Between Two Lungs. The 2009 release, I guess, is just titled Lungs. I would not have known that without looking it up because, as I alluded to, this 2010 release that I have is called Between Two Lungs, and it's a double CD release, so with some extra remixes and live performances on the second CD, as I mentioned. And then we'll move on to the next one. This one's kind of a sad tones to it. It's a very unfortunate. The only release featuring their original vocalist from 2001. Very well known, probably by most people, by the one tune on here, Bodies. This is their debut, Drowning Pool, called Sinner. Essentially the only album to feature the original vocalist Dave Williams, who while touring for this in August of 2002 died from cardiomyopathy, I believe it's called. It's a form of heart disease. This one has 11 tracks, so 4 of the tracks on that prior EP appear on here, but yeah, they got a new vocalist following and I think continued to do okay. Again, it's not something that is in regular rotation, but a solid debut. You can't argue. I think it's still their best selling tune is that Bodies tune. But yeah, the only one to feature the original vocalist. There's the band there. Liner, like I say, if I don't know a whole lot about them, I'm not gonna say a whole lot about them. It just happens. This is another one that I think I probably would have to attribute to hearing from being introduced by my son AJ, probably from Napster or whatnot, things that everything was just so readily available at that point in time, early 2000s. Next one up is from 2010, another Canadian content band. This is a sort of a super group, Crash Karma they were called, from 2010. It's fronted by the lead vocalist from I Mother Earth, Edwin. Most people in this part of the continent, the country, the world would know about Crash Karma. Mostly Canadian groups, all Canadian groups actually. Our Lady Peace, Mike Turner produced this, and also guitar player. And then Jeff Burrows from the Tea Party was on drums, and Amir Epstein was from a band called Zygote, and he played bass. Probably the most familiar tune on here to people would be Awake, tune Awake, and I will attach a sample of that down below for those who have not heard them. What do they call these things? These were relatively new at the time, these new type of CD jewel cases. Digipacks or something? Is that the proper term? Leave a comment, correct me if I'm wrong. But they stopped coming in, not entirely. I do have some that still have the plastic jewel case. In fact, most of the ones I have. But once in a while you'd get these just cardboard sleeves that they would come in that fold out. And I've got another one here in the collection. That's that type of sleeve that contains the compact disc. But yeah, from 2010, Crash Karma. That's their debut. I don't know if that was a one-off or if they did another after. Yeah, I'll look into that, but that's the only one I have by them, so maybe it is their only one. Next up, from 1992, this one goes back quite a ways, and Four Non-Blondes. This is actually the one and only album they released. Probably best known for What's Up, Hey, Hey, What's Going On. That big massive tune they had at the time. And it gets played a lot actually at sporting events. If you listen to a lot of sporting events, go to a lot of sporting events or watch on TV, you're almost bound to hear that tune. I know at hockey games when there's a bad call by the refs or something, or Roger Roca, that was the guy's name, who joined the band on guitar during the recording sessions. But prior to that, they were an all-female group. And in 1992, there was, I think, one of the first openly gay acts, women. And pretty awesome debut by these guys. I think that's probably the best known tune, but there were a few others on here, if I recall. Superfly, Spaceman. A lot of them are familiar to me because I do listen to it from time to time, and I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know, the pressure got to them, or I'm sure, I can't even imagine, even today it can be tough for those that are, coming out and whatnot. So in 92, definitely kudos, for, they sold like 6 million globally of that album and did quite well. 59 weeks I read on Billboard 200, so that's, doing pretty damn good. But yeah, unfortunately, the only album they ever released. Bigger, Better, Faster, More. Forgot to mention that, but Four Non-Blondes from 1992. Next up, this one goes back to 1997, and many will be familiar with their stuff that came much later than this one, but this was the debut by Blue October from 1997, The Answers it's called. And Blue October is essentially, not primarily, but essentially Justin and Jeremy Furstenfeld. Justin, they're brothers, Justin being the vocalist and Jeremy being the drummer. And a strange thing about this is their record label at the time, Universal Records, would not allow them to sell this online or at their concerts or anything. In fact, the only way you could get it was evidently through mail order to their parents. Their parents at the time were their managers. So, but then again, it was re-released later on. I think this is actually a 2005 or 6 copy that came in this, again, what they call Digipacks, I believe. And get the CD out there. And that's the group there. Also, the only release to feature Liz Mullally was on the bass and piano on many of the tunes on this album. But she departed after this release, their debut. But yeah, it's definitely not for everyone, especially this debut. It's very much about depression and the lead vocalist, primarily Justin's his dealing with depression. Depression's a real thing. A lot of people deal with it, and it's becoming more and more. I guess if you don't talk about it, you don't know about it, and it's better than letting it. So anyway, this was his I guess therapy. They're still going strong, but 1997 this release, and in fact October 97. So was a bittersweet month for me personally. That's the month my wife and I were married, and it's also the month that my dad passed away, October 97. So but yeah, a great debut. They're not all great, but it was a good debut. If you like them, you're gonna really like them. If you don't like them, you probably won't listen to it at all. But anyway, enough about that. I said I was gonna leave one spot open for a special vinyl, and I don't actually tend to listen to these guys very much. I just saw it at a record store. These guys are actually from PEI. And when would this have been? This was, I don't even know when this was, maybe 85-ish, 86? Probably says on here, but this band is called Haywire. And what's the album? Bad Boys. I recently just got it, so I don't know a hell of a lot about it. That wasn't my thing, although I think I actually did see them at a Mill River Resort concert back in, in 1986 this came out. So yeah, the band consists of Paul McCausland on vocals, Dave Rashid on keyboard, background vocals, Marvin Burt on guitars, background vocals, Ronnie Switzer on bass, and Sean Kilbride on drums. And these guys are all from my home province of Prince Edward Island. I presume, I don't know. I mean, I know the band is from Prince Edward Island. Whether they're all from the island, I couldn't say definitively, but that's their debut from 1986. And they had some tunes on there that actually did quite well. In fact, I think they may have released 2 or 3 more albums. Again, certainly don't quote me on it. I don't know enough about them, but yeah, that's my little ode to my home and my heritage. So I hope you enjoyed that. If so, give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I mean, that's the best way to support it, is actually hitting the like button and subscribing. Leave a comment if you'd like. If you have any comments regarding the content I provided here, or just want to say hi, that's fine too. And hit a notification so the next video I present, you will be notified, and hopefully that'll be soon. I tend to put a video up when I get a chance. I spend a lot of time with my family and grandsons. That's still my priority, but had some time here today. I thought I'd throw another one together. Hope you enjoyed it. As I mentioned, I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video here at Twanger's Turntable. Now, go and listen to some tunes, some Irish Rovers or Thin Lizzy or something. Cheers, everyone. Take care.